Hello again, ladies and gentlemen, Saka here, and welcome back to another episode of NASCAR Racing 2003 season. And we are at the bullring of Bristol, 1/2 mile, 0.533 miles to be exact. And this is the old Bristol where the bottom groove is the way to go. Brandon is there a couple rows in front of us on the outside. We're starting on the inside here. 50 wonderful laps here at the short track. Green flag is in the air. We're right behind Jimmy Johnson in that 48. Let's try not to give up the bottom here, and we will see where we can go. Brandon finds him a spot down there on the bottom lane. The car really wants to push out on corner exit, and we don't want to give up this bottom groove. Jimmy a little bit loose there in front of us. We can't go up to the wall just yet. They're fighting back on the high side, and 50 laps here will click by very quickly, and we have over 60 laps of fuel in the car. So we're not looking to pit this time. In the middle, 3 wide between the Hendrick boys, and we're starting to slide up just a bit. I'm going to roll out and get myself out of that situation and settle behind the 47 of AJ Allmendinger. We'll see if we can complete the pass on William Byron here, and these guys in front of us are starting to really look racy. 2 and possibly 3 wide. Brandon up there as well, fighting amongst those guys. As you can see, we qualified in the middle of the pack. Kyle Busch set a flyer at 15.8, and it looks like the yellow flag is out here. We just need to make it back to the line. This was not our fault, and we'll re-rack them up and see where we go. And there we go. We take in the yellow flag in the top 20, and we'll go ahead and get our spot back. We will not pit this time, and we will set them back up for green. Just one moment. Coming back to the green flag, we're about to start lap 10, so we are one-fifth of the way through this race, restarting behind the 12 of Ryan Blaney. We should be fine now that we're single filed out. Green flag is in the air. A decent start for us, well, kinda. And we'll see if we can keep on the bottom. Looks like a car is already looking to the inside. Yeah, Jamie McMurray gets a really good start on the bottom. We'll keep up on the high side. Still fighting back those cars behind us. That looks like Kurt Busch. No, that was Bubba Wallace and Eric Jones in the 20 to follow him through. We're not going to push the issue here. I imagine more cautions will come out. We'll just hold strong on the top if we can. Car is really snappy loose up top. We can't really put all the power down. And right there on the inside, almost dooring Jimmy Johnson in that 48. Let's see if we can keep him back. Oh, no, that was Kurt Busch in the 41. My mistake. So Kurt Busch gets by. We'll settle in right here. It looks like we have some clear track, and then we can start laying down some decent lap times. We actually haven't been able to put in a sub 17-second lap. There we go. There's our fastest lap of the race. And now that they're single filed out, I think we can pick and choose our battles here and work our way back to the top. Now, on these restarts, the tires get cooled down. They go through a cycle, and they lose the grip that they had before the yellow flag came out, so it's going to take a couple laps for these tires to come back to us. And once they do, I think we'll be able to get back to Kurt and Eric Jones there. Brandon making the pass on Bubba Wallace as well. So it's sort of disheartening and encouraging at the same time that our teammate is struggling as well. It's not just me having a mediocre run at best today. And it is Bristol, so anything can happen, and if a crash comes out that collects 2 or 3 cars, whoa, there goes Brandon down to the inside. I think that's a spinning 360. Pace car materializes through us, and did we take the caution? I believe we did. So now we have to stay behind these cars here and get caught back up to the lead pack So Brandon with a little issue, a spinning 360, and I think he's okay. That's going to be pretty bad for his tire wear, though. I'm sure he's on the same strategy as us with the no pit strategy. And there's still plenty of cars that are on the lead lap. Austin Dillon and William Byron were the victims of that first accident. So aside from those guys, there will be no one else a lap down, and it would really give up a lot of track position if we were to pit for fresh tires. So we'll get this caution flag reset, we'll re-rack them, and be back with you for the green. Coming to the green flag again. Well, we'll be starting lap 22 this time around, almost to the halfway mark here at Bristol. 50 laps is the total length of the race, and hopefully I can get a decent restart here. Restarting in third gear, that's a good roll, and we're able to stay right there on the back bumper of Kurt Busch. Brandon a little loose there, but he gets to the bottom. So Brandon didn't get the exactly best start, but that allows us to get under the 41 of Kurt Busch. The nose just slides up, and we aren't able to really put the power down, but Kurt is up there on the outside, fighting down here at the bottom. He gets a good run off the turn, and Kurt is really good here at Bristol, so we've got our work cut out for us. Eric Jones looking to the inside of Brandon, trying to get that spot, but Brandon is starting to get his groove back. Once these tires come back under us, Brandon should be able to catch that pack in front. And definitely if those guys in front start getting really racy and end up crashing, of course we'll catch them then. Bristol is really like it's like a factory, an assembly line sort of. Oh, Kurt Busch puts us in the wall. Let's keep on going. So I might have squeezed Kurt Busch up just a bit. I imagine he can't be happy about that. Probably screaming the F word as loud as he can for as long as he can, but we actually didn't lose any spots. We made up the position on Kurt Busch, but lost it to Trevor Bayne. And the car actually feels okay, so no worse for the wear. Bristol, that's a little bit of character. It's like Martinsville. When you're on a short track and you finish with a perfect car, you might not have been racing all day. And I don't think Trevor is as fast as Kurt Busch was. He's right on the back bumper of Eric Jones, though. If he can open up that gap, we can follow him through. That's if Trevor decides to go. We'll get down to the apron, help the car turn, de-wedge the car a bit, and see if we can clear him on corner exit. We cleared him right there. Let's focus on that 20. And Brandon is about, a couple seconds ahead of Eric Jones, and whoa, he's really loose on the bottom on corner exit. That's sort of what I'm fighting as well. If you get the power down too early, that rear end wants to come around. Loose is fast and on the edge of out of control, but that's no good when you stuff on the inside of the fence. Just like now, really loose on the bottom under Eric Jones. I tried to make it stick, but de-wedging the car to get the position is a bad situation when you want to put the power down. So let's see if we can finish strong here. We're in the top 20 solid now, which is a lot better than where we started, and that's really all that can be asked. There's 20 laps to go now. We've crossed the lap 30 threshold. So in these last 20 laps, if a yellow flag were to come out, we'd re-rack them again. But let's try to finish this race under green as best we can. And Eric Jones is fighting back pretty hard, the rookie. He's not giving me the bottom when I'm right on his rear bumper. He would have gave us the bottom right there had we been there. But unfortunately, when we close up, Eric Jones decides to hug that yellow line and not allow us by. We have to get to the old days of Bristol where we root and gouge and force them off the bottom, and that's how we make forward progress. We still can see those cars in front of Brandon a bit. They haven't left us, and we're running some decently fast laps here. But I think the leaders are still really hauling the mail. Kyle Busch with consistent sub-16s, and we are nowhere near that lead. So those Joe Gibbs cars are very well dialed in here. Well, except for Eric Jones. So we'll keep in line here, see what we can do. See if we can root and gouge him out here. I don't want to wreck Eric, but if push comes to shove, I know he's holding me up. And if I put myself in a bad spot just like that, a car will go by. And there's Kyle Busch, the old leader, who must have pit for fresh tires if I had to make a call. That was for position, and I think Kyle Busch will make short work of Eric Jones. Let's make the best of it, see if we can follow Kyle on through. Eric Jones did give up the bottom here. That will set us up very nicely for the turn. And indeed, Kyle Busch allows us to get by his teammate. Thank you very much, Mr. Busch. Now Kyle is going to catch Brandon very quickly on those fresh tires and a car that is a rocket ship. Brandon lets him go by. And if Kyle can catch up to those cars in front of us, he might have something for him. He might stick his nose where it don't belong. It's big enough to. And we'll see what happens here. We're closing on 10 laps to go. And running by ourselves, I believe we should be able to finish under green. We just have to put together these last laps pretty quick. Just mind our own business. That was a 17-second lap, so not a good lap for us as far as straightaway speed. But we're by ourselves now, so we'll check our lap time here and see what the fall off of our tires are. Definitely compared to Kyle Busch, we are slow as molasses, but I mean, we're hovering around our fastest lap of the race. But the right front will definitely be taking a beating, and with Brandon not hitting after that 360, his tires will be in a worse shape than ours for sure. And if he's pushing this hard, I don't know if those tires are going to last, if I'm honest. But we'll do what we can here. We are catching a group, so that is encouraging. I don't know if they're for position or not. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. Kevin Harvick looking to the inside now. I believe he was another one of those leaders that pitted for 4 fresh tires. We're going to let him go. There's no use in holding Kevin back. He is way faster than us, and we may get lucky like Kyle and have Kevin Harvick force the spot and allow us to drive on through. Brandon gets under that 32, the lapper definitely. So does Kevin Harvick. Brandon really loose on corner exit, really reining it in there. He is driving his tail off, that's for sure. We'll clear the lap car here and see if we can get under Brandon. We're starting to reel him in, and I think those tires are really starting to fall away. I don't think he would be up there on the high line voluntarily. We'll see if we can complete the pass here. We do complete the pass, so that will put us in 16th place. Nope, yep, 16th place indeed. So Brandon's for position, so is Kevin Harvick, but Kevin Harvick is on a tear, closing to 5 laps to go. And Kevin is definitely making short work of these cars in front of us. I don't think we'll be able to pass anyone for position. Kevin Harvick is still the car to pass, so Chris Buescher in front of us is not for position. He's a lap down, so hopefully we can get by him quickly. Yellow flag is out, and there's a big crash in turn 1. Everyone is really checking up here. Let's go to the outside and see what we can see. We'll have to be behind these cars anyway, so I think that is going to be the race. So we may come around for 16th. If we do happen to go back green, I'll be right back with you. Okay, looks like we have come to a complete stop, coming to the checkered flag. We'll still come across the line in 16th place, but that was definitely curious why they decided to stop like that. But a 16th place for us. There we go. The flag is dropped. It's over. And wait, Brandon was on the lead lap. I was on the lead lap. So it looks like NASCAR, in their wisdom, decided to put everyone from 4th place down an extra lap down, which doesn't make sense. We would definitely appeal that tomorrow. That is for sure. But Brandon with a 23rd place run, I finished 16th. And it looks like Brandon's right front tire finally went. And that's what brought out that last caution. But let's take a look at what brought out the very first caution with Austin Dillon and Alex Bowman. No, not Alex Bowman. It was William Byron. And it was early in the race. It was like lap 3 or so. Well, this was the lone spin by Brandon here. We were right behind Kurt Busch, and we're going to see Brandon do his flying 360 off the turn. And I don't believe, yeah, there it went. So there was Brandon. Did he hit anything? I don't believe he did. And it was just loose off of turn 4, just like that. Lost it, locked it down, got going, clutch, Days of Thunder style, and back up to speed. So let's take a look at that Austin Dillon crash. Oh, Brandon was on the wall there. Oh, there it was. Big black plume, which means engine damage was definitely a factor. So this was a pretty big crash in the grand scheme of things. There is William Byron, and oh, well, there goes Austin Dillon up in the air. Oh, that is nuts. Let's find Austin Dillon here and see exactly what brought out that caution. That was pretty vicious. So the 24 gets up into the 6 of Trevor Bayne, comes down, gets loose, hits the 3 into the inside wall, and Austin Dillon climbs the 24. And yeah, that will end your day really quick. So let's take a look at the standings. After Bristol, Jimmy Johnson is your cut-off driver. Kurt Busch just 2 points behind. AJ Allmendinger 7 points behind. Brad Keselowski 8 points behind. And Chase Elliott rounds up your top 20, 16 points behind, but only 10 points up to 13th. So Clint Boyer is not out of the woods just yet. That is going to be an interesting race for the cutoff. Just, 20 points separates 6 drivers, 7 drivers. So one bad race, and you are out of the chase. But that's going to do it for me in this episode of NASCAR Racing 2003 season. Ladies and gentlemen, like, share, and subscribe if you are so bold. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you next week at another short track in Richmond. Take care.